Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. This is the second video in dividing fractions and mixed numbers. I'll just start off with what we were doing previously. So previously we were taking two fractions, and this fraction is 2/3 divided by 1/4, or how many 1/4s are in 2/3. And to show what this looks like as a diagram, you want to have both fractions with the same denominator so you can put them both on the same fraction strip. And most kids in grade 8 pick up that the common denominator of 3 and 4 is 12. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 4 is 8 over 12. Divide by. To make 1/4 out of 12, you do 4 times 3 is 12, so 1 times 3 is 3. And you end up getting 8 over 12 divided by 3 over 12. Or how many 3 over 12s fit in 8 over 12? Well, to draw this on the number line or on the fraction strip, you want to make your 1 whole into 12ths. Cut them into quarters. Then cut each of your quarters into thirds, and you'll have 1 whole divided into 12 equal parts. Shade in 8 out of 12. Okay, we want to know how many 3/12ths are in 8/12ths. Well, I count 1, 2, and we can't make another group of 3, so there's 2 left over out of what should have been a group of 3. So the answer is 2 and 2/3. Just going to pause for 1 second. I have to cough. Hey kids, I'm back. So the answer is 2 and 2/3. Now, remember as well, we can also, when we have the common denominators, we can also just use the numbers, right? So 8 over 12 divide by 3 over 12. And when we have the common denominator, we just do 8 divide by 3. And 3 goes into 8 2 times, remainder 2 out of 3. And that matches over there. Okay, so now the next step is to look at improper fractions and mixed numbers. What happens if we have, say, 9 over 8, an improper fraction, divided by 1/4? Well, actually, not a lot is different. We still want to see what the common denominator of 8 and 4 is. How many 1/4s will fit inside 9 over 8? Well, the common denominator of 4 and 8 is 8. So 9 over 8 stays the same. And then 4 times 2 is 8. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 over 8. How many 2/8ths are in 9/8ths? Well, one good way to picture this is just to remember that 9/8ths is also 1 and 1 over 8, right? And that'll be good to remember. So now what we do is the reason we have 2 rectangles down here is because 1 and 1/8 or 9/8 is greater than 1 whole. So to demonstrate that, we need to have more than 1 whole rectangle. We still divide them both into 8ths, half, quarter, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, half, quarter, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. And we're going to shade in 9 over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 over 8. And then one more for 9 over 8. Or also, you can think of it as 1 whole and 1/8. And then you do the same thing as before. You ask yourself, how many 2/8ths are in 9/8? How many of this are in 9/8? I count 1. I count 2. 3, 4. Now we can't make any more groups of 2. There's 1 left over. So the answer is 4 and 1 out of what should have been a group of 2. Or if you think of the common denominator method, take the first numerator, divide by the second numerator. How many times will 2 fit inside 9? 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8, so remainder 1 out of 2. And you get matchy, matchy. Okay, last question, number 7. What happens if you have a mixed number? 1 and 1 over 4. Divide by 3 over 8. Well, probably want to take this mixed number and make it an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So that's the same as 5 over 4. Divide by 3 over 8. And then get your common denominator. Common denominator of 4 and 8 is 8. Okay, 4 times 2 gives 8. 5 times 2 gives 10. And 3 over 8 stays the same. How many 3/8 are in 10/8? Well, divide your rectangles into eighths. There's your eighths. And we want to shade in 10/8, or 1 and 1/4, or 1 and 2/8. So we're going to shade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10/8. And we want to count how many 3/8 of that size are in 10/8. I count 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3. So 3. So you can get 3 whole groups. There's 1 left over. So you get 3 whole groups, 1 left over out of what should have been a group of 3. 1 and 1/4 divided by 3/8 is 3 and 1/3. And remember, you could use the common denominator method. 10 over 3. How many times does 3 go into 10? 3 times. Remainder 1 out of 3. Matchy, matchy. Kids, that's how you, or that shows you some of the patterns when you're dividing fractions in mixed numbers. The next time we do this, we'll even look at more different patterns, and we'll have an assignment. We didn't quite get to an assignment today, but that gets us really set up to finish up dividing fractions next week. I hope that's all for now. That's all for now. And I hope you have a good evening and a good weekend. Flexing Teacher Weber out.